It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. You're right, Tommy. It is beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and everyone is getting into the holiday spirit, getting ready to do their deep squats and all their exercises to improve their deep Asian squat, Slav squat, minor squat, kimchi squat, Russian squat, whatever you want to call this deep human squat. Are you okay down there? I would like to rework the blocking here. In some recent videos, I talked about how old people can improve their deep squat by doing some sneaky hip stretches throughout the day. One of them involves being on your hands and knees and getting deeper into a squat position while still staying on your hands and knees. Your hips go back, your butt gets closer to your heels, and you're approaching a squat position with the thighs and the torso getting closer together. But that doesn't work for everybody. I also showed that you can just put your foot up and start bringing your foot back, bringing your thigh in closer, and you could sit in a half squat or with two legs up, a very much almost a full squat kind of position. But some old people don't like that either. I saw several comments from some viewers who said their knees just don't bend that much and they're wondering what they can do to improve it. So today we're going to talk about some simple strategies you can use at home, whether you're an old person or a young person, or you're just somewhere in between and you just feel like your knees can't quite do the things that I've talked about to help you improve your Asian squat. We're going to talk about a couple different simple, easy options and some progressions so that you can then start getting more comfortable doing some of these other habits that will help you get into your deep squat. So if you're ready, let's get ready to think right, move right, and feel right. Before we get any further, I want to ask you a serious question. At what age did you or will you consider yourself an old person? I'm really curious. Drop me a comment down below. Excuse me, Tommy. You okay over there? Tommy? 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 Tommy will join us later. In order to get into this deep squat position, your knees do need to be able to bend. This is called knee flexion, meaning the shin bone and the thigh bone are coming closer together. If you go into knee extension, it's the opposite, where they spread apart and your leg is now straight. And you can't actually go any further than that unless you wish to absolutely destroy your knee. If you haven't flexed your knee like this in a couple decades, I absolutely do not recommend that you just force it into flexion and make something pop, snap, or crack. Instead, we want to go slow because slow is safe and fast is foolish. So we're going to help your knee figure out how to get into a flex position so that when you start doing it more and more often, it's not going to freak out. A simple way to do this is to take a strap, a belt, a bath towel, or even a leather strap that's left over from that 5-year period where things got a little dark in the bedroom. And you're just going to sit somewhere where you feel safe and supported, like a couch or a chair. You're going to take a strap and you're going to put it around the shin. Anywhere around the shin, but somewhere close to the ankle is probably pretty good. And then you're going to start to pull on that shin bone, bringing it closer to your butt. Just like this. You can do this in any configuration you like. So I'm doing it right here, sitting on the edge of a chair. I've got my foot off to the side and I'm just pulling it up this way. Now, because I'm flexible enough, this doesn't bother me or my knee, but you might need to adjust. You might need to maybe have it so that you're facing over this way and pulling up like that to get the knee into flexion. You might need to be leaned back on your sofa, and you might find that if you can put your foot on the sofa and then use the strap to pull the leg in, that works for you. Or you might just grab with your hands to bring the knee in, that's fine too. The thing you want to pay attention to is the sensation and feedback that you're getting from your knee. If you're doing this and you feel like, oh, my knee is about to explode, you feel like the front of your knee is so tight that everything is just going to shoot out and you're going to bleed out, stop. Don't do it so hard. We're trying to be gentle with our bodies so that we can gradually increase the demands that it's capable of. So grab that strap, grab your foot and ankle, and start pulling up, and do it slowly, paying close attention to what you feel in the knee. If you feel a stretch sensation in the thigh, congratulations, that's exactly what you want to feel. If you don't really have much thigh muscle, you might not feel that much stretch, and you might feel like this kind of makes your knee feel worse. And if you don't have much muscle on your thigh and it's making your knee feel worse, please keep watching because we're going to start talking about some things to strengthen the knee as well. Like a good set of spare ribs at a holiday dinner, you want to make sure that there's some meat on the bone, otherwise you're not really stretching much besides ligaments. So, when we're doing this stretch, if you're somebody who's well muscled and you feel a stretch, congratulations, keep doing it and keep gradually letting those muscles figure out how to lengthen so that the knee can bend more. All these muscles on the front of the thigh are the ones that restrict knee flexion. So this is a nice stretch. Find an angle and a position that feels doable for you. And when you're ready, you can progress to harder quad stretches, which I will link to probably down below and at the end of the video and maybe up there too. And we don't want to talk about only stretching because only stretching isn't going to work for a whole lot of people. You need to also build strength and control. So how can we get the knee muscles used to going into flexion and supporting us and also being able to go into extension? Well, that's pretty simple to start with. Once you've stretched things out for about a minute on each side, probably 2 rounds, maybe 3 if you can tolerate it and it feels good, you're going to progress into doing knee extensions. And I suggest you do this on a couch or leaned back in a chair so that you can hold onto your thigh here. If you can't do it with your own hands, you can keep the strap, bing, and just support it like this. And now you're also getting a bit of an arm workout. So you're going to just practice extending the knee and bending it as much as you can. So you're extending it and bending it. You'll notice that the higher I bring my knee here, the more room I have to bring the foot close to my butt. So that's why I'm saying if you can kind of lean back, you can get a nice amount of knee flexion. Gravity is helping pull the foot down, so that's helping you get a gentle stretch, and then you're working against it like that. Now, I don't have anything behind me to support me, but that's why I'm saying do this on a couch or something with a chair back so that you feel supported. Otherwise, this is a bit more of a workout than you probably want to do. And you're just going to do 10 to 20 repetitions. If that feels like way too much for you, you can absolutely do fewer. You just want to pay attention to what it feels like in the muscles on the front of the knee. Those are the ones that are very likely to get fatigued. If they don't really feel fatigued the first couple times you do it, and when I say that, I'm meaning that even in the days after, you don't get super sore, because if you're gonna get sore, it's probably not gonna happen right away. It's probably gonna happen in the day or 2 after, and that's where you wanna really be paying attention. If none of that soreness happens, awesome, you can progress to using some weight on your ankle. Here's your ankle weight, jerk. Sorry and Merry Christmas to you too, Tommy. So you're going to take the ankle weight and you're going to put it on your ankle, as the name implies, and you will do the exact same exercise. So whether you're supported with your hands or your strap, whatever, you're going to go into deep knee flexion as much as you can and then lift up. So now you're training the knee to be a little bit stronger through a full range of motion. Now, because we're training it to get used to the squat, we really want to make sure we're getting into some nice deep knee flexion. If you're doing this like so, where you're sitting straight up and your leg is just here, you'll notice that the angle that my knee achieves is not as acute, and we love acute things, right? So we want to get this angle to be as acute as possible rather than being more obtuse, which we all know is just a roundabout way of saying ugly. That's what that means, right? So again, sets of 10 to 20 repetitions, fewer if it feels like you need to, but if you are using weight and you feel like the weight is so heavy that you have to do like 3 or 4 and it's too much, then you're probably using too much weight. You might need to use a lighter weight or no weight at all so that you can train some higher repetitions. If you're straining and struggling for 3 repetitions, you might actually strain something too much, and then you're gonna be writing me some nasty comments down below, but it's not going to be my fault because I told you not to do that. Please remember that slow is safe and fast is foolish. That goes for the speed at which you execute an exercise, and it also goes for how quickly you progress the weights that you're using. Don't rush things. Take your time, especially if you're an old person, especially if you're an adult who has regular things to do and bills to pay and a day job you got to get to. Just take your time. You're not 18 anymore, and nobody, I mean nobody, is going to be impressed that you went to a higher ankle weight than you should have. The next exercise is just standing up, leaning against a chair or a countertop, and you're going to lift your foot up towards your butt. Now, just doing this and holding it for 5 to 10 seconds may cause outrageously intense cramping for some of you, and to you, I apologize. But I swear to you, over time, as your hamstrings get accustomed to doing a small amount of work, they will not cramp so badly anymore. The goal is to do some repetitions. I would start with about 10 repetitions and do these slowly and with control, with a little bit of a hold at the top, a long enough hold that you feel the muscle actually working, but not so long that you feel it just like start, oh God. So that's like 3-second holds in the beginning. You're like, okay, I can do this, and then back down. Then over time, you can hold them for longer. And if you have already purchased an ankle weight, congratulations, because now you can now use that ankle weight for hamstring curls. You can do the exact same exercise with a little bit of load, and that's going to wake up your hamstrings. They're gonna say hello, and they might cramp again. Ah. I promise the cramping does go away as the muscles get stronger. So you're doing 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 20 repetitions per leg of the knee extensions that I showed you earlier, and these leg curls or hamstring curls or butt kickers, whatever you want to call these. These are pretty simple exercises that you can start today. They don't require much skill and they don't require a lot of balance, and they will gradually help your knees start feeling better because you're actually using the muscles and you're bringing some blood to the actual joint. I do want to show you one more exercise to improve your knee flexibility for your deep squat, but it does require a little bit more skill and attention and a little more balance. So please, when you're doing this, make sure you use support as much as you need. Do this next to a wall, use a stick, use a friend, however you do it, just make sure that you are careful with it. Please remember that slow is safe and fast is foolish. And also, before we get to that exercise, I do want to remind you that I have a program called the Asian Squat Program that will be linked down below, where I assemble all the videos I've made about the deep Asian squat, primal squat, human squat, so that you can reference everything in a pretty simple, easy to use format, and you can just put together some daily things and some weekly things that are gonna help you get better at doing the deep Asian squat. And for those of you who have noticed that I'm wearing dress shoes and are wondering what kind of dress shoes I would possibly wear, since I like minimalist shoes and often I'm barefoot in my videos, these are actually from Carrots. They were sent to me for free by my friend who founded and runs this company. And this is not a paid promotional, sponsored ad or whatever. I'm wearing these because I think they look awesome, and I'm at the point in my life where I like wearing fancier shoes. If you are interested in them, I will put a link to them in the description box. Personal friend, Mountain Evan Chang, runs the company, founded the company, and is a big reason why this channel is even here. So that's a big thank you to him for the shoes and for the inspiration he provided me over the years. So let's show you the final exercise that requires a little bit more coordination. So you're gonna have something elevated in front of you. A low stool can be great, or you can just use the chair that you have, especially if you're a taller person. And I am not a tall person. So anyway, this is a little bit tall for me, but this is show business. So let's just get on with it. You can hold on to something, do this next to a wall. Just make sure you feel stable. You're going to be pushing everything forward. You're drifting forward. This knee, you'll notice, is going into a lot of knee flexion. And you'll notice I'm getting into what looks like a squat position with this thigh relative to my torso. This other leg is clearly not going into a squat position. In fact, it is going to get a bit of a stretch in the hip flexors, which is a nice fun little bonus. But if that's really distracting or too painful, you can always adjust your body position a little bit and your foot position a little bit to get a little more focus in here. So you're going deep into this position, only going as far as feels safe for the knee. So if that means you're only going here for now, that's totally fine. You don't have to rush it or force it. Just go to where you can get. Hold it there for 3 to 5 seconds, and then try to use the knee muscles to back yourself out of it. So you're going in, feeling those muscles work around your knee, feeling the knee get used to it, and then bringing yourself out. And you can play with different heights. You might find that a lower height is a better challenge. You might find a higher height, whatever works for you. I don't care. Do it. Start with something that is just easy to set up, because ultimately it's the repetitions that are going to matter the most. Once you get the habit in place, you can start playing with the other variables. So 5 to 10 times, you don't have to do this one a ton, and just get it used to that position. 2 to 3 sets per leg, and you should be good to go. Oh, my knee, oh, my knee. I'm just kidding, my knee is fine, it's totally fine. See, look at this, it's fine, it's fine. So there you have it, 4 exercises that'll help your knees feel a little more prepared for doing a nice deep squat. Let me know how these feel for you by dropping me a comment down below. I'm excited to hear your success stories, so please do share them in the comment section down below. Be sure to check out the Asian Squat program, which is very flexibly priced, which you will find out more about if you click on the link that you'll see down below. If you liked this video, hit the like button. You can make a donation at uprighthealth.com/donate to help support this channel. Make sure you subscribe, share this with someone else you know who needs a little help for their knees in the deep squat. And as always, I hope you remember that pain sucks, life shouldn't. I need my agent and my doctor on the phone right now.